how has this grown, and how difficult is it to pick the winner and whittle this down?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's unbelievable how much it's grown and what this is kind of grown up to be and become, and just to celebrate these student athletes. I think it's harder now today to be able to be a leader on the football field and in the classroom in college football and then still be a good football player. And so, that list gets harder and harder. I'm glad I don't have to pick it, and there's a committee that does that. But just these three finalists just represent everything good about college football and the game of football. And so good to catch up with them and celebrate them tonight. And just so proud to be associated with this award.
How did their stories resonate with you, these three particular ones?
Yeah, I think all of them in different ways, I think Mike at Virginia, just having adversity and real life adversity hit you and, how you respond to that and to not only recover from that, but then to come back and play in the ACC. I mean, what maturity and growth on his end. And I think for Tony at Texas Tech to be able to graduate and kind of flip that script and be a leader in the community and make a decision to go serve. You just kind of got an infectious personality. And then for Blake, I think it's just, overcoming the injuries. And obviously he's got a chance to go chase his dreams now in the NFL. But, even way before that, to drive all the distance he was driving to go to a school and be a part of a team. And, I mean, who makes those decisions at 16, 17 years old? And now to be on the other end of it and have an opportunity to see those dreams come true, I think it's just really awesome for those kids, and glad we get to celebrate them tonight.
You're so, knee-deep in high school right now
Yeah.
as a coach, and then obviously playing so long in the NFL. Does this kind of get you kind of connected to the college game as well, really on all three levels? Kind of keeps you connected all the way?
It does. There's a list there's 75, 80 kids that start out from their sports information departments, and my biggest thing is, especially tonight, but they're all winners, I was fortunate to be a part of the Walter Payton Man of the Year a few times, and, I never felt like I lost. I always felt like it was an amazing experience, and for all of these student athletes, I think it's hard. I have kids that are in high school, and I know the temptation that comes with that and what I'm trying to teach them, and, in the world of NIL and seeing results instead of being growth mindseted. I mean, I think that's a challenge for them, and for these guys to step up and, those 75 guys to be an example, it's been really neat for me to stay connected.
Does it help you coaching your team to use guys like tonight
Absolutely.
as motivational stories to
Yeah,
your guys?
I had a lot of coaches that would use adverse situations to share with the team, about you make certain decisions, there's consequences for that, and I don't know, and I feel like there's enough negativity to go around. I've always kind of taken the approach of, hey, look at this work ethic. He drove 2.5 hours. You're tired at 7 in the morning? Look what he did. He was getting up at 4:30 to drive to practice, and so, there's so much good that these young men are doing, and I choose to use that in my own football program, in my own kids' lives. It's motivating for me to see the commitment they've made, not only on the field, but in the classroom and in the community.
You've accomplished so much here as a player, obviously, stating the obvious. How has it been a unique experience to accomplish what you have now as a coach, winning a state title, leading a team?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We were really bad the first year. We went 2-8, and I think I've said this before, but I don't know that I've ever lost 8 games in a row. And I'm a sore loser with that, and we didn't play real well, we didn't coach real well, and so to come back 2 years later and to go 14-0, and for us to win it like that, and for our kids to experience that, and it was my first time too, so it's just really neat. What lessons we can teach our kids to work hard, commit to something, believe in it, and then for that to come true, it's been really neat for them, and great experience having 2 boys in the program.
You've been on the other side when you were
Yeah.
in offense when you were here with the Cowboys, but when Mike Zimmer was here as defensive
Yeah.
coordinator, you obviously got a chance to see him and coach it. What do you think he's going to bring to this team coming back here?
Yeah, I think Coach Zimmer's going to do a great job. I mean, I think obviously his pedigree as a defensive coordinator, he understands how to attack. I mean, it's simple in its approach, but he does such a good job of attacking pass protection and his third down package. He's a guy's guy. He's a heck of a racquetball player back in the day, but he's intense, but it's honest communication. It's direct. I think players understand he's a good teacher of the game, and so obviously his success, I think, will be a natural fit. Him coming back here, at Dallas. So Zim's a heck of a football coach.
Your second year, your numbers exploded.
Yeah.
Ferguson had a pretty substantial growth in his year too. What did you know after your second year? How did that set a standard in your mind to want to continue to do that? And what message would you give Ferguson?
Yeah. Well, I think first thing in my career, I think, we all want it and we want to push ourselves. We have this dream and we think we can do it. And then we get an opportunity. And then when you actually go do it for 10, 12 weeks, you realize, man, I actually can do this. And then it becomes the challenge of, well, now the standard is that I do it year in and year out. And I think I was really pleased with how he played. I thought he made some great plays, even in the Green Bay game where I know it was a disappointing loss. I thought he played, made some big plays in that game. So I think he can do it all. He's a willing blocker. He can bend. He's got good hips. He seems like he's smart. He's got great chemistry with Dak and good charisma. He can run. He understands separation. So I think now seeing himself do it, here's where the growth comes, right? And so I think people would always tell me that. I remember after my second year, and Coach Parcells and Sperano, Coach Payton brought me in and said, like, great year, but now can you go do it again? And I think that would be the challenge, is put the work in, and I know he will, but I think he's got tremendous upside. One thing I always look for in a tight end is, what are their weaknesses, and can they improve at those weaknesses? And I don't know that there are weaknesses in his game as a blocker, as a receiver. Certainly, I'm sure there's things he'd like to get better at, but I've been really impressed by his playmaking ability and just the charisma he plays with.
Russ won Blake Corum. I don't know if he told you yet, speaking with you, but he told us that he had your fat head on his wall growing up. Did he tell you about that?
He did not. He told me he was a Cowboys fan, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Talking about kind of the full circleness and the coolness of the kid who grew up with you on his wall, being
Yeah.
here, and then he said he wouldn't mind winding up here, how his game might fit.
Yeah, I mean, what a great player. What an unbelievable story, from high school to then having the injury and being up for the Heisman and coming back and winning a national championship and overcoming all that he overcame this year. So, you don't hear about many Cowboys fans up in that area where he's from in Washington, D.C., but really neat to hear his dad kind of share some of those stories. And, that's never been lost on me, that those kids that were watching and maybe somehow the way you worked or what you said or the way you played makes a difference in their career. So certainly proud of him and wish him the best as he moves forward.